बेवचपतिदानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas College Station, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired sex of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Before we move on to our session, may I know who all joined this morning? Okay, I'll continue chanting if nobody want to introduce themselves. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Ram. Yeah, Prabhuji joined. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today, we are very fortunate to have His Grace Kenvas Das Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 18th chapter, 29 to 32 verses. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I wanted to read a brief introduction. Bhakta Kenvas Prabhu began to practice bhakti at the age of 18, which was 5 years back, and is currently pursuing bachelor's degree in computer science at University of Texas, UTA. As an international student, he has taken a shelter of His Holiness Bhakti Ashraya Vaishnava Swami. Along his side of academic journey, he has been actively inspiring and guiding young devotees, serving as a source of inspiration for youth through his sincerity, discipline, and devotional conduct. He is deeply involved in organizing and running Bhakti Vriksha programs in Fort Worth. And a supportive environment for spiritual learning and growth. Prabhuji is constantly inspiring others by thoughtfully sharing devotional knowledge and living by an example. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for joining this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam to everybody. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. First of all, thank you all, and all of you are very senior Vaishnavas here. I would like to especially thank Anjana Gopi Mataji for giving me this opportunity to speak, purify myself, and then serve all of you. Although I'm very unqualified to speak here, but since it's an opportunity to serve all of you, I thank you very much. So, do I share the screen, Mataji, for the Bhagavatam, or do you do that?
Yeah, Prabhuji, I gave you co-host either one. If you want me to share or you want to share, you can go ahead and share. I gave you co-host. You can share your
Okay.
screen.
Okay. Let me know if you can see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see that.
So, okay, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 18, Text 29 to 32. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiret. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. So let's get into reciting the verses first, then we'll get started with our discussion. Okay, text 29. Shri Baliruvacha Swagatam te namastubhyam Brahman kim karvamate Vamarshinam tapak shakshan Manye tarya vapurdharam. Translation. Bali Maharaj said to Lord Vamandev, O Brahmana, I offer you my hearty welcome and my respectful obeisances. Please let us know what we may do for you. We think of you as the personified austerity of the great Brahmana sages. Text 30. Adyanapitarastripta Adyanapavitam kulam Adyasvishta kratur ayam Yatbhavan agato grahan. Translation. O my Lord, because you have kindly arrived at our home, all my forefathers are satisfied. Our family and entire dynasty have been sanctified, and the sacrifice we are performing is now complete because of your presence. Text 31. अज्ञानयो मे सुहृथा यथा विधि द्विजात्मजात्वाचरणावने जनैः हतं हासोवर्भिरियं च भूरहो तथा पुनीता तनुभिः बधैस्तव. Translation. O son of a Brahmana, to the fire of sacrifice is ablaze according to the injunction of the Shastra, and I have been freed from all the sinful reactions of my life by the water that has washed your lotus feet. O my Lord, by the touch of your small lotus feet, the entire surface of the world has been sanctified. Text 32. Yad yadvato vachansi tatpaticha me tam artinam viprasutanu targaye gam kanchanam gunavad dhamamrishtam tathanapeyam utava viprakanyam ramam samridham sta turakan gajanva ratham satharha tamasam pratichaha. Translation. O son of a Brahmana, it appears that you have come here to ask me for something. Therefore, whatever you want, you may take from me. O best of those who are worshipable, you may take from me a cow, gold, a furnished house, palatable food and drink, the daughter of a Brahmana, for your wife, prosperous villages, horses, elephants, chariots, or whatever you desire. Purport. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 8th canto, 18th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Lord Vamandev, the Dwarf Incarnation. Vamandev ki jai. So let's do some Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Padantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you all for giving this wonderful opportunity to serve you all. Srimad Bhagavatam is something that's very, and I feel that's very high level topic to discuss, especially among devotees, something that's like full of rasa. All bhakti tattva is in there. Atro Visargos, all the creation, destruction of the universes, Krishna's pastimes, divine leelas. It is said in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 12.12.50. तदैव रम्यं रुचिरं नवं नवं तदैव शाश्वत मनसो महोत्सवं तदैव शोकार्णवशोषणं नृणां यत् उत्तमश्लोकयशो न गीयते. Which means the pastimes of Sri Krishna and relishing the Bhagavatam, it's it's like purifying and ever fresh, always nitya navam navayamanam, which means the more you hear, the more newer taste we get. And it's like newer and newer waves in the ocean of our heart is getting touched by Harikatha, according to one's advancement in bhakti, according to one's practices, one's sadhaka. It's like hearing the pastimes, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is cleansing the heart every time, purifying our hearts every time, our minds, our senses are getting more closer to Krishna, getting eager to, serve Krishna and his devotees. So if you hear the pastimes of Putana, then it's like we might be thinking, yes, I've heard this story many times, or pastimes of Vamandev, Bali Maharaj. But the more we hear, if we hear the katha 5 times, our heart's getting cleansed 5 times. So it's very something auspicious. And devotees like Parikshit Maharaj is hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. Although he knows Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he's there because of Krishna, because Krishna saved him in the womb when he was hit by the Brahmastra from Ashwatthama. But when he's told the pastime of Putana by Parikshit Maharaj, he's like very anxious. What happened to Krishna, oh, Parikshit Maharaj? Sorry, oh, Sukdev Goswami. Please tell me. With anxiety, he's like asking, what happened to Krishna? I want to know the pastime. But he knows because he's, Krishna is Supreme God. And Krishna is the one who saved him. That's why he's here. The whole pastime happened. That was way back. And Krishna's childhood pastimes are such enchanting pastimes that it took the heart of Parikshit Maharaj. So Tadaiva Ramyam Ruchiram Navam Navam. Always Nitya Navayamanam. Always it's ever fresh and whatever you taste the Bhagavatam from, it's always relishing. It's a very special scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why the more we hear, the more it's getting cleansed. So one may ask, like, how many times should we hear Srimad Bhagavatam? Because our goal is always to finish the 12 cantos and then say that, yes, I finished Srimad Bhagavatam reading it. But Sri Nag Muni says, Sada Sevya, Srimad Bhagavati Katha, Yasya Shravana Matrena, Hari Chittam Samashriyam. Just by listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, Hari gets inside our heart. And Dhunoti Shamalam Krishna. Krishna starts entering our hearts and then cleaning all the sins we've acquired, all the bad habits, all our unearthas inside. He's just cleaning. The Supreme Personality of God is sitting in our heart just by listening to Srimad Bhagavatam. There's such potency, such power in Srimad Bhagavatam. And we get like different fruits by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam accordingly, like depending on our intensity, how much eagerness, how much of devotion we're hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. Because lots of people come to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. There's lots of good speakers, you know, but the mood they're reciting the Bhagavatam, they're giving their lecture, the mood once hearing the lecture, they all get different fruits. It's like a classic example is like Arjuna heard the Gita from Sri Krishna himself, right? But Dhritarashtra also heard the Bhagavad Gita. Now Arjuna, he had the problems. He had like confusion. He was really indecisive in the battle. What to do? Oh Krishna, there's my family in front of me. There's questions arises in his minds, and but he has the intensity to learn from Krishna. Like he accepted him as his spiritual master. Oh Krishna, please guide me. With his all mood to learn and surrenderness, he went to Krishna and asked for his confusions and doubts to be removed, and he got them removed because Arjun's intensity to learn of surrender was very much with devotion. But Dhritarashtra on the hand, he heard the same Gita from Sanjay, right? But he didn't learn anything because look at Arjun, he got his problem solved. He became a good devotee. But Dhritarashtra on the hand, he was listening just to listen. What happened to my sons? Did they win the battle, oh Sanjay? Right? Because that's the mood we should always be concerned with whenever we're hearing a class, any lectures, or we're going to a temple, any mood, anybody speaking, we should be thinking like, what am I getting out of this? Am I doing this just to listen for, feeling pleasure? Because yes, we get a lot of pleasure hearing Krishna Katha, doing Kirtan, because the topics of Krishna is like that. But the goal should not be like that, to relish ourselves like this is very, I feel ananda just by listening to Harikatha. Our goal is to actually progress in spiritual life. The ananda is like the side effect, I would say, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Vamandev over here is a very special incarnation. Eighth canto is also a very special canto, talking about Gajendra Moksha, the Samudra Manthan Leela, the churning of the ocean milk. It was a few months back I was reading this canto. It was very interesting. Talks about all the pastimes, especially the pastime of Bhamandev and Bali Maharaj is spanning a lot of chapters. And I think this is the 18th chapter where Vamandev has entered the arena, and then because Bali Maharaj right now is doing an Ashwamedha Yajna, right? And we can see Bali Maharaj is like offering so much respect to Vamandev, talking about his beauty, his position, how he was admiring the beauty of Vamandev. Everybody in the assembly, everybody present there, all the asuras, all the Shukracharya Guru, and everybody like stunned, like awestruck with his beauty of Vamandev. Very beautiful dwarf incarnation of Bhagwan. Now there's another special thing like Bali Maharaj is like a very great devotee, right? Mahajan, the 12 Mahajans of Lord Vishnu, Bali Maharaj, Vishnu Pitama, Sukadev Goswami, Lord Shiva, Brahma, Swayambhu Manu, a lot of people. But among those 12, Bali Maharaj became Mahajan after this pastime. He was a very great devotee. He surrendered his everything. I mean, I don't want to give you spoilers because I think you devotee have heard all about the Pavan pastime, but you should always hear it like, this is a new story I'm hearing. In that mood, like, of course, don't forget the pastime, but always hear like, I haven't heard this story before, in that mood. Because if you hear in that mood, the pastime becomes even more fresh to taste, it's more good. So now we can see like Bari Maharaj is like offering welcome to obeisances to Vamandev. And he's like, what can I do for you, O Vamandev? You're very, tiny, small, and then very effulgent Brahmana coming in. He's like ready to give his entire kingdom to that Brahmana just by seeing like how much beauty like Vamandev should be carrying in that time, right? And he says this line where you've kindly arrived at our home and all my forefathers are satisfied. Our family and our entire dynasty have been sanctified. The sacrifice you're performing is now complete because of your presence. Just by his presence, is admiring that because of your presence, all my pitra, now they're all satisfied. I think they might have attained liberation, just by all my dynasty has been sanctified. That is already true because Lord has already blessed his dynasty by appearing to Lord Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, very great devotee and exalted, another Mahajan. Now, see how exemplary this family is. Like they have two Mahajans in one family, one dynasty. And there's always like Krishna talks, in the Gita. There's two kinds of people, like the divine and demoniac. But these are two personalities, interesting personalities, Bali Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, who are born in the demon family, but they are divine, right? Because Prahlad Maharaj, being the son of Hiranyakashipu, was such an exalted devotee. And then Prahlad Maharaj's son, Vyos, on the other hand, was not so much of a devotee. But his son, Bali Maharaj, now again born in the demon family, but was very divine. And this is not, is a very interesting personality because he has actually seen three avatars of Krishna, of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because he was in the present in the churning of the ocean milk, in the Samundra Manthan Leela. Bali Maharaj was there and he got to see the Kurma avatar, the tortoise incarnation of Krishna. And then in the same churning of the ocean milk, the Samundra Manthan Leela, Krishna came as Mohini Murti, right? A very beautiful pastime. And now even Lord Shiva, Mahadev, Devokadev Mahadev, Vaishnavanam Yathashambhu, the topmost devotee, he is like very detached person and he got attracted to Mohini Murti. But Bali Maharaj, on the other hand, if you can see, if you notice, he got to see Kurmadev, he got to see Mohini Murti. But as soon as he sees Vamandev, he's naturally attracted to Vamandev. He didn't have to, like, there was no special pastime, but everybody was glorifying Kurmadev and everybody was attracted by Mohini Murti. All the Devatas, Kinnaras, Akshara, Asuras, even the sages were attracted, everybody. But Bali Maharaj was got naturally attracted with Vamandev. And that's why he was doing stuti as soon as he came, and he didn't even know like Vaman was the supreme personality of Godhead, but he started glorifying, as we can see over here. Like, see, he's saying like, today the fire of sacrifice is ablaze according to the instruction of Shastra, and I've been freed from the sinful reaction of my life by the water that has washed your lotus feet. If he knew that this is the feet I'm washing is the supreme personality of God, Lord Vishnu's feet, and then he would be even more. But he's doing stuti already, seeing Vamandev and his effulgent small Brahmana, pure Brahmana. And that is very true. I mean, all the statements he's been saying here. The yajna over here has been sanctified because of you. Now this yajna is complete. And by the touch of your small lotus feet, the entire service of the world has been sanctified. Wow. Such stuti by Bali Maharaj. Even in the last shloka, we can see, you've come for something, O Brahmana. Let me, ask anything from me. Now, this is also why Krishna, Vamandev didn't want Bali Maharaj to rule the planet at that time, because Krishna doesn't like ego. Bali Maharaj was trying to capture, conquer everything. Now, this is where Krishna is teaching. Of course, Bali Maharaj is an exalted, Mahajan. He's just teaching us like what not to do, because devotees in the Bhagavatam, all the pastimes, Mahabharata, Ramayana, they all teach us. We might think, why are they acting like that? They are devotees, right? But they only act like that according to the will of the Lord to teach us jivas something, and they teach us according to the examples how to be and how not to be. Now he's asking Vamandev like, how would you like to, what would you like to take from me? A cow, a gold for a furnished house for you, something to eat and drink, maybe a daughter for your wife. You want a wife, a Brahmana wife. Many villages, horses, elephants, chariots, whatever you desire. What would you like? Because now he's owning everything. He's Bali Maharaj. He has conquered the three worlds. Now he's going to be attain the post of Indra after completing the 100th yajna. Now this is where Krishna and as Vamandev he's coming, and then he's like tearing apart the ego of Bali Maharaj. He's saying, whatever you have, it's given by me only. But he comes and takes him away, not breaking any other rules, or I would say, because Krishna can take anything from everyone at any time. Krishna gives with one hand, he can take with 10 hands, he can give with 10 hands. So Krishna is like according to a person's as I said, like intensity, mood, what he's going to do with all that wealth, that power. Krishna doesn't take that, give that position without it thinking. Everything is actually sanctioned by Krishna. Everything that happens to us, to this world. There's a saying in Hindi, एक कि भगवान की इच्छा बिना एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता, which means a leaf cannot even tremble without the Lord's will. So this all pastimes, and especially being present in the Bhagavatam, is something very special. Now, as we can see, let me turn this off maybe. So I don't know. I'm feeling I am talking to lots of screens. Like making me less nervous. But if you can turn on your videos, that would be great. Thank you. Some of the devotees have turned on your video. Thank you. So there's one thing that I noticed, like Vamadev coming only for Bali Maharaj. Now in the same dynasty, like Narsingadev came to protect Prahlad Maharaj. There's two incarnations that only took for a specific person. Now, Mata Aditi, the wife of Kashyap Muni, she prayed to Lord Vishnu, oh please, Vishnu, now my sons all the demigods are being threatened by the asuras, please protect them. And she did a vrata. And for that vrata, Lord Vishnu came and said, yes, I will be born as Vamandev from your womb. And then he performed like this pastime where he was already born with all the armless spangles and lots of ornaments, lots of divine, rods. And then there's Kamandalu, there's this belt, deer skin, all this paraphernalia given by different demigods. Here, Krishna has appeared in the society of demigods. Krishna appears in different incarnations. He appears as Varaha, Nrsimha, Kurma, Munimurti, lots of incarnations. But why does Krishna actually come here like that? So Krishna says in the Gita, right? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya च दुष्कृताम dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So I come here, O Arjun, because he gives mainly three reasons. I come here because whenever there is decline of religion, I come to vinashaya chadushkritam, to destroy the evil, the ones who are like creating havoc in the society. It says paritranaya sadhunam, to protect my devotees and to establish religion. Right? Always, and I come in every yuga, every millennium. Now, all these 3 points he gives, the foremost point over here he's giving is uh, paritranaya sadhuna, to protect my devotees. He only takes incarnations because he wants to reciprocate with his devotees. Because Krishna is all powerful. He can sit in Vaikuntha and he can give a couple of mini heart attacks to Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and he can just sit there and do nothing. But he just comes here to perform these divine pastimes, just to relish with his devotees. He's very special. Now, this whole pastime of Vamandev and inquiring with Bali Maharaj after he takes the all three steps to attain the universe when he asks that I only want 3 steps of land. Bali Maharaj is like surprised, like you're very small and you have very small lotus feet. If you just take 3 steps, how much will how much land would you acquire? But Vamandev, insists like we should not be greedy. Now he's implying like giving a message to Bali Maharaj that yes, you are being greedy, conquering this whole world, and you want to be Indra now. So he's teaching, I want only 3 steps of one, and I will be satisfied with that. He got like, he's teaching Pali Maharaj. So yeah, we need to be whatever, like satisfied with whatever we get in our own accord, as Krishna says in the Gita. So he takes his 3 feet of step, like he just, and then to break his ego, he takes this gigantic Trivikrama form. Just by 2 steps, he takes the whole, in the first step, he conquers the whole earth. His whole step is now on top of earth. And then the second step, he's going to all the way to the heavenly planets, touching the Swargaloka. And from his foot, the, Mandakini Ganga is from being washed from there. I think that pastime is going to come later on the chapters. Spoiler alert. And then, so Bali Maharaj now is like, just perplexed. He didn't expect this to happen. That's Lord Vishnu now. Even Sukracharya kind of warned him, like this might be illusion. Like this is Vishnu's form. He also gets into the water pot, not to let him wash his feet as well. But Bali Maharaj has been a very surrendered devotee. Because Krishna knows, when to approach a devotee. He was waiting for the right time of when he was performing his yagya to break his ego, to make him his now, completely surrendered to Krishna. Now, as that is happening, Bali Maharaj was a very surrendered soul at that point. Now, my ego is gone. This is Swayam Vishnu himself. Krishna is here. So he takes like that moment actually touched me, because Krishna says, now I have conquered the whole world, all the 2 lokas, all the thing, just by my 2 steps. I still have 1 step remaining. Where do I put the third step? Then Bali Maharaj, like just with surrendered mood, with all devotion in his heart. He says, put your head, feet on my head. Now, the lotus feet of the Lord is, it's one of the nine angas we worship, right? The Vishnu Pada Sivanam. That's another Bhakti anga we're practicing on our devotional limbs, the limbs of devotional service. And that is very something that's very powerful. He got to wash the lotus feet of the Lord, and the lotus feet of the Lord is now on top of Bali Maharaj's head. That's just amazing. The devotee gets such a blessing in his lifetime. He got to see. He was a grandson of Prahlad Maharaj, who, Narsingdev came to protect him. Even his forefathers, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Varahadev had to take incarnation for Hiranyaksha. For Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj, Narsingdev had to come. And then for him, Vamandev, he got to see Kurma Avatar, Mohini Murti, and Vamandev. Such fortune of Bali Maharaj. That's why he's a Mahajan, because these things just suddenly doesn't happen. He has so much devotion for Lord. Now, that's why, like Krishna coming in this incarnation as Vamandev, he only had to come mostly to reciprocate with Bali Maharaj, to liberate him and to give him. Now, when he has lost all his kingdom, all his opulence, now Bali Maharaj is asking, where should I go now, oh my Lord? Now, Krishna gives him a place because of his surrendered mood. He gave something that's even more better than Swarga. He gave him Sutalok, that's the lower planetary region. Now, till this day, it's said like Balimar is still ruling down in the Sutaloka, and he's the king of Sutaloka, and it's more opulent than all the opulence all in the Swargaloka. It's said over there, Amravati, and and all of that. He's still the remaining king in the Sutaloka, and Vamandev blessed him that in the next Manvanta you will become Indra. So that's how, Krishna reciprocated. He gave his wish also being fulfilled according to his time. He just blessed him. And till this day, there's lots of stories of Bali Maharaj being present in Sutaloka. There's also a story in Ramayana where, Ravan comes very huffy puffy, being egoistic. He goes to all the places to conquer and says like he's the greatest, king. And Ravana goes to Sutalok and fights Bali Maharaj. And what to speak of Bali Maharaj? The sons of Bali Maharaj beat him up, and then Ravana gets destroyed and humbled. There's a story in Ramayana also about that. So Bali Maharaj is a very strong character. Very, he knows all the shastras, the vidyas. Very great Mahajan. I mean, someone who defeated the demigods, who's the son of Virochan, grandson of Prahlad Maharaj. He was a very strong team because the Samudra Manthan Leela, if you notice, it was a very big thing. Like the Mandarachal. Uh, the hill, the mountain, and then Vasuki Nagaraj pulling on both sides, the demigods and the asuras. There's like an imbalance, when all the demigods and asuras was pulling. So Bali Maharaj was like a very pivotal point. He was a very strong person, physically and mentally as well. That's why this is a very interesting pastime of Vamandev coming in his sweet form, Shantarasa form, to reciprocate with Bali Maharaj and give all his subjects also his darshans. Now, devotees like Bali Maharaj are not only like self-benefiting, they give benefit to the whole society. Now, because of that, Ganga Devi had to come down, and then all the asuras got darshan of, Vamandev. Now, in the Shastra, it said like if you take darshan of Jagannath once, you get liberated. Jagannath is Vamandev, So just by taking darshan of Vamandev, all the asuras were also getting liberated. All the people who got to see Vamandev, they're also very satisfied, fully satisfied. Devotion gets rise, in our hearts when we get darshan of Lord, just by seeing deities. Now when he's personally present, that's even more astonishing, very, very good. So that's why Krishna comes, Satyam Vedatum Nijabhritya Bhashitam Vyaptim Shabhuteshu Akhileshu Chatmanah Adrishyati Adbhutarupam Udvahan Stambhe Sabhayam Namrigam Namanusham. Just to prove his devotees' words true, just to fulfill their desires, Krishna comes in this incarnation. Now, this was like how Krishna is himself also enjoying in this pastime as Vamandev, as Varahadev, as Nrsingadev. He comes in this pastime, he himself is also enjoying, but it also makes the devotees relish his pastimes and reciprocate accordingly. Because in the Vaikuntha Loka, there's always leelas going on, but especially the Leelas of Viryaras are not present there in the above planetary systems. Viryaras meaning like lots of fighting Leelas, Sometimes the Lord has the desire to fight or, have this chivalry battle with his devotees. That's why he comes down. I heard like especially with Jai Vijay. That's why he sent Jai Vijay down to fight with his own devotees to relish this pastime. That's why Jai Vijay had to take three incarnations and then, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, Dantavakra, and Shishupal, and Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. he comes down to, just relish with his devotees because Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were demons, very powerful, and Lord personally had to come and then fight with them. Same with Ravana and Kumbhakarna and Shishupal and Dantavakra. So personally, he comes down and then relishes with his devotees, showing like, yes, the mood of my devotees, the intensity, the love, that is what matters me the most. Just to come and then, give loving reciprocation, like devotion to all the devotees and himself. He's like experiences in the rasa of this bhakti, in chivalry, in his madhurya rasa, in his sakya rasa, all the forms of rasa we can experience. Krishna is just helping us go back to God in that mood. Like this, listening to these stories, reading these, life of Bali Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, all the stories from Bhagavatam. This all teaching like how we should surrender to Lord, how our prayers should be. Like especially there's the sixth canto where Vritrasur's prayers are very beautiful. I like those prayers. If you read, I think you've all read them. Um, like Vritrasur says. अहं हरे तव पादैकमूलं दासानुदासो भवितस्मि भूय मना स्मरिता सुपतेर्गुणं स्ते गृणीतवा कर्म करोतु काय. My Lord, when will I get attached to your lotus feet? Like your servant, when I will be able to like serve them. It's like very, very like from coming from Asura's mouth, like demon, he's being killed by Indradev. But his last prayers are invoking Krishna and he was like Chitraketu Maharaj in the past life. If you read the past life with Asura, it's very interesting. He also says, Nanaka Prishtham, Nacha Parameshtam, Na Sarvabhaumam Narasadhipatyam, Na Yoga Siddhir Apunarbhavam Va Viranja Sattva Virakaya Kankshi. I don't want any opulence, O Krishna. He says, I don't want any big kingdoms, yogic, mystic powers if I have to leave your lotus feet. What is the, purpose if I have the whole three worlds, whole 14 planet systems, all the opulence in the world, all the power in the world, but I have to leave your lotus feet? I don't want that. It's coming from the mouth of an asura. So we should always not think of an outside, physical body that he's an asura, he's a shudra, he's not a brahman, he's not a vaishnav. Even because you never know who's like a devotee from our heart. We may be wearing, dhoti, karta, yeah, like kanti, and then tilak. Fine, we'll be like, yeah, he's a great devotee. He looks like a good devotee. But the one person who was wearing dhoti, kanti, and then tilak inside our heart, that's what matters the most, I would say. Because Krishna is inside, sitting inside as Paramatma, Hriday Tishtati Arjuna, is in everybody's heart. He knows what kind of devotion we're doing, what kind of mood we have, how much intensity we have to get him, reach him. Do we have actual desire to reach him in this lifetime or not? Like as Bali Maharaj was like, even without knowing that he's Krishna, stuti about him. We should be like in the Gita, like as Krishna says, we should be having equal vision for everybody, learning to see a Brahmana, a cow, a Shuddha, a Chandal with all the same eyes, seeing because the Lord is present everyone, everywhere in everyone's heart. So we should be in that mood, chanting, glorifying devotees, glorifying the Lord, and in this association, chanting because you already have this very good community of Bhakti Sangha group over here. And I don't have much to say today because Vamandev's pastimes are not very elaborate. In the pastime, it's the same pastime of he going to the yagya and then Bali Maharaj surrendering to Vamandev. But it's a very beautiful prayers by Bali Maharaj and how Vamandev also reciprocates. He says he gives some philosophy later on in the coming chapters where Vamandev has said very beautiful philosophy and how he reciprocates with Bali Maharaj. We should follow in these footsteps of Mahajan. I think in the previous shlokas, there might be a mention of where the Lord Shiva is carrying the Ganges, the Ganga water on his forehead because that's coming out from the toe of Lord Vishnu. So even in Chaitanya Charitamrita it said, Bhakta Pada Dhuli, Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha Tina Mahabal. The three Mahabal of Bhakti, as said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakta Pada Dhuli, the lotus, the dust of the lotus feet of the devotee. That is one Mahabal. If one just touches the dust of the lotus feet of like of a devotee, then that's just liberating. That will increase your bhakti. Even what to speak of us devotees, Lord Krishna, when he was in his Mathura and Dwarka pastimes, he used to faint. He used to be unconscious. At night, he used to just, remember all the residents of Vrindavan, or even the cows, he would be like remembering his cow's name in his sleep and saying, Radha, Gopi, Hey Madhumangal, Hey Subankal, Hey Shodami, Ananda Baba. used to cry, and the queens in Dwarka and Mathura, they were like, who is this? What is Vrindavan? All of that. He sent Uddhav, that's why, too, there's a famous, the Brahmar Geet in the 10th canto where Uddhav goes and Krishna says, bring me the dust of my devotees and put it in my forehead, otherwise I will not be okay. He's having sickness. Now, Uddhav is like, you're the Supreme Lord. How are you sick? How are you, having this? But Krishna says, no, this is his pastime. He's like doing all the Ashtashatri vikars in his body. He's fainting. His color is changing. He's remembering the gopis, almost going in the mood of Mahaprabhu. But just by the lust of the lotus feet of the devotee, even the Lord is satisfied. He's very jubilant just by receiving the dust. So first is the Bhakta Pada Dhuli, second is the Bhakta Pada Jal, which means washing the lotus feet of the devotee, and having that is also another Mahabal. So even in the same pastime, Lord Krishna is washing the lotus feet of Sudama, his dear friend Sudama, and he's eating it. He's washing with his own tears as well. That much love he has for his devotees. So Bhakta Pada Dhuli, Bhakta Pada Jal, and Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha, which means Avashesh is like the remnants of whatever the devotee has eaten. It's jutha, we say it. So, or whatever the devotee has eaten and left by, that's another Mahabal. As we can see in the pastime of Narad Muni, when he was a child, in his past life, he was a Dasi Putra, and then he got to eat the remnants of sages in the Chaturmas, the 4 months' time. He got to serve them. Just by eating the remnants, he developed so much intense desire to attain the Supreme. He developed like detachment towards the world, and his mind was concentrated on Krishna. So that's like the Teen Mahabal. So I think saying this, I don't have much to say. I'm very inexperienced. Maybe there were a lot of mistakes here today. I don't know how much I spoke. I hope I got to satisfy your ears. And saying this, if there's any comments, reflections, any mistakes, please forgive me. Anything you liked today, it's all praise to Srila Prabhupada, my gurus, and Gauranga. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for such a beautiful class. As you are telling, you are young and we are all eldest. Bhakti doesn't matter like that, Prabhuji. Young, you have grown a lot in Bhakti. Have you read the scriptures very nicely? Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Just like we say in Prahalad, being a 5-year-old, he was giving to everyone. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming on the call, giving that devotional service enthusiasm to all of us, Prabhuji. Radha Jyoti Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. My humble obeisances to you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances at dust of your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, you mentioned one statement where you said, when we take a darshan of Lord Jagannath, he is a incarnate, he's a form, equivalent form of Vaman Deva, and we get liberation. So is it so where I could get more details about this? Oh, I want to read more. Or could you please give some explanation more about this? And one more statement you mentioned uh, uh, about Vaman Dev when he appeared. Uh, the Bali Maharaj was unable to, judge, and he was attracted, and he promised to himself that he will give everything. So my question to you is, when he appeared, what made him to surrender completely? Because we have so many forms of Lord, like presence of Lord, Bhagavatam, devotees, prasadam, deities, sadhu sanghas, even our gurus. So what we are not able to surrender, and how he surrendered easily?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. So according to the first question, I think like why Jagannath and Vamandev last time in the Padma Purana it's mentioned like about the glories of Jagannath. Like just by taking his darshan, we get liberation. It's the main actual pastime of Jagannath. Now this there's like an I wouldn't say there's like a reference where it's mentioned Vamandev and Jagannath being same, but they're the same personality because Krishna has come, especially in these avatars, like the Dash avatar. Krishna has come in his personal potency form, the There's lots of other avatars where like he comes in Shaktavish avatars. But this pastimes of Vamandev, Varadev, Nrsimhadev, Krishna has come personally over there. So referring like they are non-different to each other, like Jagannath and Vamandev. Saying because even kind of relating to your second question also, like he got attracted because he was a supreme personality of God, and that's why. In his heart he didn't knew that, but because he was a supreme personality of God, everyone was attracted. Krishna iti akarshiti. Krishna's name is means like one who attracts everybody. Krishna has that form. I mean, with our material eyes, the photos we see, the vigraha we see, they're all very beautiful, no doubt. But actual, seeing darshan of Krishna, that's even billion million times more beautiful. The form of Krishna. We don't like the photos or the vigraha that we see personally today. That's like the topmost imagine that we, imagination that we have done. But Krishna's even more beautiful than that, all the because as I said, like in the Bhagavatam, description of Vamandev is given, and his body is described, his physical forms, how he looked, how effulgent he was. Now that's just in the book, right? But when we try to imagine that, I mean, like it has a limit. But Krishna's limit to his beauty is just, that's why Krishna has like all the six things required to be the absolute Bhagwan. One is beauty, right? He has unparalleled beauty in his physical form, is spiritual, in its transcendental. It's not our like our material bodies. So relating with the same question, I would say that yeah, Krishna is always attractive, and why he got surrendered is because he got surrendered when he knew after like he was already in the mood of service, but I would say not exactly surrender at first, but when he got to know, yes, he is now Supreme Lord, like is Vishnu, then he was like, oh my Lord, this is like, I've been treating him as a Brahman. Now he's even, he's got even further now that I didn't recognize my Supreme Lord. He was Krishna himself right now. Then he is like surrendered already. But we should be in the mood of Bali Maharaj seeing like Brahmana being also non-different with Bhagwan, because Krishna says among the Varnas, I'm Brahmana. So Krishna gives himself so much respect to Brahmana. So we should be in the mood that Krishna is, especially in the mercy of Brahmanas, he's sitting within the Brahmanas. In the society of all the Varnas, Krishna is, I'm among the men, I'm Brahmanas, I'm the sages, I'm the Guru, all of that. But yeah, being surrendered to Krishna is something like I should Mahajan is a different, very high category. We it's very hard for us to reach over there, but definitely we should try until you die. Like it's just like fake it till you make it. Us devotees, we have to practice a lot to get to that pure level. Bali Maharaj was like a devotee, and he got to personally, as I said, he got to see personally three forms of Krishna. But seeing Vamandev, his heart was naturally attracted because Krishna has personally taken incarnation for Bali Maharaj, for reciprocating with Bali Maharaj. So I would say that's why one of the main reasons Krishna made him attract, because this incarnation was specially for Bali Maharaj. Now in our life, as you said, we might not be attracted to specially pastime from Vamandev. We might be attracted to, let's say, Nrsimhadev's pastime, or maybe Sri Ram avatar, according to our desire, according to our gunas of nature, whatever we have in our heart, we'll get attracted. But at least gets attracted to something, and just hold the lotus feet of your spiritual master, of devotees, and of the Supreme Lord. We'll all eventually reach there. Hare Krishna. I hope that answers your question, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Could you tell me one more thing? The Padma Puran that we find on internet is really authentic one that we could read sometimes, like not interested, but just for the reference, or sometimes if we feel to read, extra apart from Srila Prabhupada. Though I don't want to, but sometimes I say this reference comes, then I feel so. What, where I'll find, or how to find which book is authentic over a net, or how to find it?
Online, Mataji, I would say it's not very authentic right now. But if you have a good source, like it's coming from a very good devotee who's read the Padma Puran before and he's found it online, then I would say maybe. But for us devotees, we don't need other Puranas. The reference I'm giving for you is all through Shravanam, all through Srila Prabhupada's quotations or other devotees mentioning these shlokas. Because I personally don't read other Puranas like that going online. I have tried, I would say. I wouldn't say I have not read any other Puranas, but it's better because if you have one bike that's gonna take you to store, then why do you need five, six bikes? We have the 18 Purans, but Srimad Bhagavatam is the most foremost best. Srila Prabhupada's books have all the things. He has mentioned any many other shlokas, but just for if you need for reference, and you can look it up, no worries. But I would say physical book is much more better. Maybe if you're in India, then I think it's much more easy to get the Padma Puran. But if you're outside abroad, then it's very hard to get an authentic one. Best if you contact a devotee and know if it's authentic. Mataji. Haribo.
Ji, Prabhuji, eternally grateful to you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And we look forward for your association. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sunil Prabhu, please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Danatnam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very beautiful class. Prabhuji, in the class you have said, no, Prabhu, like when we having Srimad Bhagavatam, we should not hear for entertainment and we should hear like, oh, it's new, it's new. But it is so difficult, Prabhuji. Like, if something is new, is being spoken, which I don't know, then I may hear it to enthusiasm, Prabhu. But which I know already, the tendency is like, oh, I know, let me become in I become inattentive, Prabhu, for that class. What can I do?
Hare Krishna, nice question, Sunil Prabhuji. So this is where our mood should be like whenever we hear like a pastime, let's say we're hearing the Ram Katha, and then the speaker starts saying, once upon a time there was a city named Ayodhya, Dashrath Maharaj, and all of that. And we just turn it off the right moment when we hear that. We're like, oh, I know this story. Well, now this is gonna go like this. I know this story. The moment we have that in our mind, the intensity, like as I said, that just gets shut off. Like to hear the hearing propensity just gets shut down because the more times you hear it, actual devotees they relish it more and more. Like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was reading the seventh canto of the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj. He was crying, weeping and weeping with Gadadhar Pandit. They were like all there was the Bengali, I think it was Bengali, Srimad Bhagavatam maybe. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just crying and crying. He read the whole page of Bhagavatam. He's saying, please read it again. And then please read it again. It's finished. The story's been finished many times all throughout the day. Mahaprabhu like, please read it again. And he used to cry again and read it again and he used to cry it again. So to get that to that mood, I would say we still have some anarthas that's not letting us reach to that mood. There might be something that is pulling us down, because Shravanam is a very powerful limb of bhakti to reach Krishna. That is the only way we can actually, desire. Because we have the propensity saying, yes, I'm chanting my 16 rounds, or I'm doing my service, I'm doing what my guru has said. But if we don't know the philosophy behind it, or we don't know the bhav behind it, because we have to balance the philosophy side and the devotion, like the loving propensity side, equally. Because if we have one or the other going up and down, then we won't be able to fully relish it. To have Shravana, I would say, relish Krishna is like enchanting pastimes, I would say. Whatever you like the most, there's always some katha that's going to attract you of Krishna, any pastime, any avatar. There always will be some pastime of Krishna that's going to relish you, or maybe there might be some speaker that might attract you, because also it's gonna depend on the speaker also, because what instant, as I said, like how what mood the speaker is also speaking in. Is he speaking to get impress others, or is he speaking to just for as like a duty? Yes, I have my Bhagavatam class today, I have to finish it today. If he's doing in that mood, he's just reading the shlokas, then that's also not going to touch the heart of devotees. So the one who is speaking and the one who is hearing. But firstly, I would suggest whatever pastime it may be, whatever speaker it may be, if you have the mood, oh Krishna, I want to hear this story, your pastime. Because if you're in a very good, I don't know how to say, good level of bhakti, then you will like yearn to hear Krishna Katha, like eating, sleeping all the day. You'll be like, I want to hear something about Krishna today. I want to chant about him. I want to be in the association of devotees. You'll be like, just like frustrated. Like Mahaprabhu said, I'm like a fish outside of water, yearning for Radha Krishna. Like we should be like that, fish out of water, like fish, the water being Krishna Katha, or the divine pastimes is chanting. So we should be attracted like a fish. I am without this, Krishna Prem in this world, like a fish just flattering around. So be in the mood like, yes, I want to first, and then Krishna will eventually get his mercy, because as I said, he's always in the heart of devotees. He will push you, but firstly, surrendered mood, and then just pray, I want to relish this pastime. Maybe hear more, just hear more. You'll eventually, get the taste. Haribo.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, you said about regarding the speaker. I agree, Prabhu. Like when my favorite speaker is speaking, no, Prabhu, I hear. But sometimes, like in Bhagavatam, not all speakers are my favorite, Prabhu, to be honest. But that time, it's the conditioning is so much, Prabhu. When favorite speakers speak, I will be attentive. When others speak, I will not be attentive, Prabhu. Wantedly, not because and nothing wrong in them. They're wonderful speakers, Prabhu. how to deal with that conditioning?
That's because we try to differentiate, like as I said, we shut off like, oh, this is a different speaker. I don't think he's gonna speak well. We shouldn't say like that, because the speaker may be, different from our favorite speaker, but he's speaking the same Krishna Katha, right? The Katha is about Krishna. Our goal should be Krishna. So whatever pastime we are hearing, just even coming from a non-devotee's mouth, if Krishna is said, we should be, wow, you said Krishna. Oh my God, you have so much love for Krishna. We should be in that mood. But yes, if your devotion gets much better hearing your favorite speaker, then go for it. No worries. But try not to differentiate. Yes. Thank you, Hariko.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for beautiful answers. Anjana Gopika Mataji, please go ahead. And after that, we'll take Radha Jyoti Mataji's second question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for coming in the call and taking your time. It's a great service. It's actually, when I listened to Prabhuji's Katha, it was very, really inspiring me. And then I thought you have to give the class in the call, means you are very such a young age, means Prabhuji's Katha is very flow. Even he was speaking in the Nepali language. It was very much going very with so much of flow. I was really impressed by your Katha and giving you come and give your association. It's very great. And you in such a young age, you have so much of bhakti. It's really inspiring. Thank you. Please keep go on, Prabhuji, and give your association. Please come again also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It's because of your mercy I got to speak, and so it's all because of senior Vaishnavas that I actually get to learn and get these opportunities to serve. Thank you. I was very nervous. I was like, there's so many devotees going to be coming, so much great speakers come in this place. I'm like, I don't know how I want to speak, but I think I think this is my first time actually talking about Vamandev, and I think that's what Krishna wanted me to go for.
Yes, it's a Samaguri Mataji. Even she accepted, first time. She never knew you, but I heard her one time. But Mataji never heard, but she accepted. It's all the devotees' mercy, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prahladanand Prabhuji, please go ahead. Your voice is breaking a little bit. Yeah, now it's okay.
Okay, all right, okay. I do not have any question, but I just want to appreciate Prabhuji's input today. At such a young age, he's so fluently quoting sloka and Bhagavatam Puranam and other Purans like that, that I really appreciate. And I just was wondering about his name. Kenvas, what kind of, I'm just wondering
even I
that
was
name.
worried
So
if I
Prabhuji,
pronounced it right.
so I just want that to know, is there a Sanskrit name or how is that name, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna. So this is I'm not initiated yet. So this is a very
Oh,
much
I see.
like all the parents want their kids to be named very differently, uniquely. So my dad, he made the word canvas,
Okay.
the one that you paint on, and he made that a little bit unique, and he put canvas. So you pronounce it canvas. It's not
I
you
see.
pronounce it.
Yeah, because yeah, that's right. I was just reflecting on that and I said,
Hopefully, yeah.
very nice. Where are you located, Prabhuji? Are you in Texas?
Yes, I am right now at Dallas.
And you're originally from where, Prabhuji?
I'm originally from Nepal,
In India?
From Nepal.
I'm sorry?
From Nepal.
Oh, from Nepal, I see. But I must appreciate your fluency in English and and in Shastra, your all round knowledge about Sri Prabhupada's teachings, and I really appreciate. I just wanted to appreciate, like as Bhagavan Shankar has said, Aradhanam Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhana Param Tasmat Param Devi Tadyan Samarthina. So you are one of them. We should all appreciate your bhakti and your input today for inspiring all of us to increase our devotion to Lord Sri Krishna at the feet of Lord Sri Prabhupada. Thank you very much again, and please come again to give your nice input again. Thank you very much. Haribol Mata. Haribol.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for that question. Even I was nervous when I'm saying the name. I was like, am I pronouncing it right or wrong? Thank you, Prabhuji. Is there any more questions? Anjana Mataji, your hand is still raised. Do you have anything more?
No. Radha go.
Radha Jyoti Mataji was raising it
No,
by
she asked
mistake. Yeah.
how Prabhuji came in Krishna consciousness. She wanted to
Oh,
know.
she put in, okay. Yeah, Prabhuji, can you share how did you came to Krishna consciousness?
It was the power of the Bhagavad Gita, I would say. It's very powerful. Because even reading the Gita first chapter, I was eating all sorts of things at that time. Very unfortunate to say, but second chapter of Gita, when Krishna starts speaking, it changed my life. The philosophy, oh my God, the soul concept and all of that. And especially, it's like a summarized version, like, right? If you just read that portion, the second chapter, if I would just recommend that to anybody who's new, if they don't want to finish the whole Gita, it's big for them to read. I would just say just finish the second chapter. Don't even read the introduction. Go for the second chapter if if you don't like to read. It has everything in that second chapter. Just by reading that, the desire to do all sorts of bad things, it just left completely. I didn't know. I just saw Prabhupada on the back of the Gita. I was like, oh, he must be the one who wrote, translated and wrote the Gita, all of that. I didn't know what ISKCON was. I didn't know what this bhakti was, but I did leave all the bad things. And then how it actually started my journey in Krishna consciousness by hearing my Siksha Guru, His Grace Amarendra Prabhu. Just by hearing his lectures, and all the other Vaishnavas from ISKCON, as I said, like a good speaker is always a good listener. If you don't have good listening, you will not be a good speaker. My fluency and all of that, if you all been saying, it's not mine. It's all the Vaishnavas I've been hearing, the book reading I've been doing. It's all according to them and the mercy of Guru. Please pray for me if you did like my class today. Please pray for me so I can get better. I don't know, you're just telling me to give encouragement today or something, but please pray for me so I can get better. My devotion gets deeper. May I develop more love for Krishna. And then, yeah, that would be it. I would say Krishna consciousness has been started just by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, reading Bhagavad Gita as it is, hearing lectures, and eventually going to temple and having prasadam. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing your journey, and thank you for saying about the glory of the second chapter just by reading second chapter. Wow. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Yes, as you said, a lot of people, including me, I don't have time to read all Bhagavad Gita. Then at least I can read second chapter and get that bhakti. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Very grateful to you. Valli Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Dandvat Pranam and Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So nice to hear from you. And being in US, you are saying all these things, scriptures and everything, at very engaged. As Prahaladnanda Prabhu also said, it is very nice to hear coming generations mainly. And when you said about like Amarendra Prabhuji, we can see the shadow, maybe the lectures of how he influenced you mainly. We can see the traces of his lectures and everything so fluently and so particularly. And it came up the right time, the right examples and everything. It was so nice the way you led the class. And we know that it is a very, very powerful story. And you gave the incarnations of Lord Vishnu with the same dynasty, right? That was so good about Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakasipu, and again Bali Maharaj, how he was in. He saw all the avatars at the time of Samudramandan, and again this incarnation of Vamanadev. So he is coming again and again for the same dynasty. That was so much of interested topic. Like we are listening the stories, but we didn't. I didn't mainly check that in that kind of angle. Like why Prahlad Maharaj dynasty? Because of his bhakti, right? And the future and also past generations were delivered. So that is clearly seen in this one dynasty itself. So that was so nice, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Hare
thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. It's very beautiful. I even
Yeah.
because that's why there's so many devotees, right? And we hear different perspective. Like, oh my God,
Mm.
I haven't thought from this side. It's very special.
Mm.
I think I forgot to mention, like, yeah, because of Prahlad Maharaj, it's like, Nrsimhadev says, like,
Mm.
a pure devotee
Yeah.
being born in this dynasty, 21 generations will get related just by you. All
Mm.
the previous seven, current seven, and upcoming seven
So yes,
generations will
please
get.
come back again, Prabhuji. We want to listen from you again and again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Nisha Mataji.
Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much for such a wonderful class. I just wanted to let everyone know that Kenvas Prabhu is just such an inspiring young devotee that we have in our Dallas Nepali devotee group. He's always inspiring new, upcoming youths, and he's always giving such a wonderful classes. And we are so fortunate to have his association. So I were very thankful to Lord for sending him in our association. Thank you so much, Prabhu. We're always so inspired by you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhuji, for preaching in different languages. Thank you so much.
Because they're just saying only because these devotees like Nisha Mataji, there's Divanam Prabhu here, Anjana Govimaji, they are guiding me. That's why I'm going over. Because without the guidance, they're like my backbone. Senior devotees' guidance is what made me over here today. So I would like to thank everybody here. And if there's any other questions, Mataji?
Yeah, I don't see. Prahladanand Prabhu? Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. At the end, I just want to quote Prahlad Maharaj. Naisam matis tavat urukramangrim anartha apagamoy anartha. Mahiyasham padarajobhisekam niskinchanam vruniti. I'm sure Prabhuji is familiar with this law. So if he wants to elaborate on that, he was saying that Bhakta Pada Tuli Bhakta Pada Jala. So this is what the importance is. I personally had great fortune of serving His Divine Grace Radha Govinda Swami Prabhu in Vrindavan. And that's where whatever bhakti, little bhakti I got was like that. So this is how it is. We get from one devotee little bit of mercy and bhakta bhukta avases. I got little bit of sweet from my Guru Maharaj's plate of food and in California, and then it really changed my life like that. So this is the gist of what Prabhuji was saying today. It's beautiful slope like that. So if you can want to elaborate then on Prabhuji, we would like to hear. Thank you.
I mean, completely, yes, true, Prabhu. Like, because without the mercy of Guru Maharaj and the devotees, one cannot get into devotion. Like, if one says, I want to develop love for Krishna or develop bhakti in my heart, we should get it from someone who has bhakti, right? If you want some money, then you can't go to a beggar and ask for, give me $1,000, because he should have something to give you. So that's only given to Vaishnavas and to Guru. If you notice, all of you, if anybody asks you how he got into Krishna, there's always a devotee connected. Because without someone in between, you cannot develop Krishna. Like I said, I heard and then I read. Because Srila Prabhupada, like also reading Gita and Prabhupada's book, is like making me directly associating with Srila Prabhupada. And then hearing lectures, the devotees, because of them, I got somewhat, devotion in my heart. It's like a transfer thing, data transfer. Like devotees giving their bhakti to each other, like hearing, speaking, being associating. Even the words Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha, my devotees are very engaged in and relish my topics, talking with one another, and that's how bhakti is developing. So yes, especially following the instruction of Guru Maharaj is very powerful in itself. Just by following the words of Guru Maharaj, like if he just even says like a material thing to do, that will also be like counted in our spiritual activity. By following the words of devotees, following them, pleasing them, especially if you please any other devotee, Krishna is much more pleased. Like if you hold the feet of the lotus feet of the devotee's devotee, that's why we're in the mood of the dasanudas, servant, serving the servant of the servant, as we are in the 33rd lineage of, Brahmamadva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So the devotee of the devotee, Dasanudasan, it goes, keeps on going, like keeping us humble at the moment, also being like eager to serve the devotees. That's our mood. And we should always have that mood of being, like eagerness to serve and learn from devotees. Even if they're a new person, we get to learn a lot of things. That's why I always try to open my heart with devotees. Even I'm kind of like an introvert person in real life. I don't talk much if I don't know new people much well. But with devotees, it's a different feeling. I just feel like they're family, especially Vaishnavas, very family feeling I get. And by that, I got the mercy of having so much love and devotion to my heart. So always keeping a devotee is like it's like a protection, like a Lakshman Rekha around us. The association around us is like a Lakshman Rekha because they protect us from the Ravana-minded people and the Anarthas and Maya Devi, and the circle of association is going to keep us safe and eventually make us reach back to Godhead. Very good.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. It's really inspiring to hear from you. Janava Mataji, please go ahead. Were you able to unmute, Janava?
Thank you, Mataji. Sorry, the button on my computer was a little slow. Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. All of it, my humble obeisances to you for being so inspiring. I like what you said to always reminding ourselves to be in the mood of wanting to hear Harikata no matter what. Sometimes I suffer from that because, in other words, sometimes my mind wants to differentiate and discern, oh, this is not a philosophically charged class, and I have to like really, get my anartas under control and let my love for Srimad Bhagavatam like take over. But I do have a moment of that, like that Maya wants to set me up. But so thank you for having that reminder. And also Prabhuji, I wanted to say, how do you, when you are struggling with certain anarthas, like, because we have desire, all of us, we have desire, right? Like, even if our desires are good, but there's like a level of desire, like the one that I just talked about. Sometimes my desire for having like a high philosophically charged class so that I could, I feel guilty sometimes because I feel like, okay, now you're thinking about your own pleasure. Now you're even though it's for the Lord, like wanting to hear, but sometimes my Maya mind is thinking, I want more philosophically charged class, like how do you how do you overcome that? Even though you're kind of on the right, but I'm very much aware that I feel like the false ego is starting to come up and say, okay, you're wanting to pleasure yourself because you want a philosophically charged class, but this is no longer from the resonance of devotion. Do you understand what I'm trying to get to, Prabhu? Like how do we what is your what's your I would say mind hacks or your devotional hacks when things are coming up for you like that?
I actually had the opposite way around. I was more into first. We start with philosophy, right? When we begin Krishna consciousness, I was the at some point I went into just hearing katha, like pastimes, only leelas of Krishna or something, because that would only make my heart like kind of calm and then feel, wow, this is something, like just taking that katha and remembering it. And I asked this same question with Guru Maharaj, my Guru Maharaj, and then he said no, that's because if you just, as I said, like if you don't balance it, one side is gonna go heavier. So if you go more to Leelas, then the philosophical side will go above, and then if someone asks us a philosophical question, we'll be like, oh no, I forgot that, or I don't remember that, or we don't know that yet. Or if we're more on the philosophical side and the Leela side of the Lord, or the other pastimes, then we will be like, oh, that pastime I don't know. Both are very equally important, especially in this age. As you said, philosophical side is much more needed right now because lots of atheist people, or even if you're preaching to someone, you're gonna need this philosophical side a lot more. And as I said, I got your point. Like we're kind of doing this for our own pleasure now. We want to hear more philosophical katha. I would recommend you the hack for this is personally when you're sitting in that class, you should be open to whatever the speaker is telling you because whatever the speaker is saying is also the will of Krishna now. If someone is on the Vyasasan, I felt this personally also because some things just come out of your mouth that even I didn't know like I was going to say this or I don't even know that like the thing that I was like about to say. And then Vyasasana has such power in that. So some things, most things, I would say 80% Vyasasana is very powerful. Krishna makes you say things. And so
Mm-hmm.
just sitting in that class will get you new things. Maybe you will get inclined to more of the spiritual side or the Leela side. Vyasasana is very good. So to that particular class, you be open. But you said, as you said, philosophical side, you like it more. When you're at home or you're driving or whenever you're free to hear katha, that moment you can hear philosophical kathas. So if you want more philosophical kathas, I would say Bhagavad Gita. And then Bhagavatam, from Canto 4, I think it starts about the descriptions of incarnations of Krishna and all of that. Also, there's a Canto 5 talking about the geography, but Canto 1 to 3, it's more philosophic, very philosophical aspect of Gita. Sorry,
Okay.
Bhagavatam. Also, in the 11th and 12th cantos are also very philosophical. Krishna gives his last message to Uddhav, also known as the Uddhav Gita. So maybe Bhagavatam, if you want to read, then Canto 1 to 3 and Canto 11 and 12. And if you want more philosophical, then we have lots of Goswamis. Their
Right.
books are very philosophical and
Right.
devotionally enriched also. So I would recommend you that, Mataji. Haribol.
Okay. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the recommendation. Yeah, I do read them, but sometimes I like to skip. I like to skip. And then also, Prabhu, I just wanted to also reaffirm what you were saying about the mercy of devotees, because when I first started, I swear I was trying to get away from devotees because I was more on the shy bite side. But it was like north, east, west. I was like locked down. For some reason, I could not get away from devotees. I was like, what is happening? But with their mercy and induced purification, I finally understood why I couldn't get away from devotees. Mentally I wanted to before, but then now I understand where I'm at, why I was not let go of. And to me, that is absolutely like pure mercy, especially now, if you cross over finally, you realize how much mercy we get on a yearly basis, on a daily basis, looking back, even when we are still functioning from like an ignorance of not really fully realizing, Krishna consciousness. That when you realize, that's why devotees are called desire trees, because you're not even aware of the desire of your hearts, right? Your true heart, which is to go back to Godhead. You're not even aware of that. And then you're surrounded by devotees. And then later you realize it, the realization of being surrounded by devotees and the things that they do, even the purification process or phases that you experience with devotees are all mercy of Lord Krishna. It sometimes when I think about it, when I look back, I cry. It breaks my heart. So I just want to reaffirm what you said is true because I've experienced that. And then also for to all the Bhakti Sangha facilitators, thank you so much for your mercy every day. And thank you, Prabhu, for your association. It's my great fortune for the day. Jai Shila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Janava Mataji, for your association every day. Anjana Mataji, you want to speak?
Yes, Madhaji. I just want to say about the Bhakti Sangha before ending the call, because I'm joining this Bhakti Sangha because it's like it's a family since 15 years. I can say since 15 years I'm joining almost every day, and then it's a very powerful Sangha. Very powerful. We chant from 4 o'clock. All the from morning to evening. You can see Vinita Mataji is since 4 o'clock to evening 9 o'clock, in the Bhakti Sangha. She is 24 hours in the Bhakti Sangha. 4 o'clock to evening, we have kids class, and afternoon Chaitanya Charitamrita class, and then morning 4 o'clock chanting, and 6:15 to it's everyday Bhagavatam class, and it's a very powerful Sangha. If you want to feel like your bhakti is going down, just join the Bhakti Sangha. We don't have a temple here where I am in located. There is no temple. There is only hope this Bhakti Sangha, and since I joined Krishna consciousness. I never be near by the devotees. I'm always far from the devotees. No temple, no devotees. But this Bhakti Sangha make me survive in Krishna consciousness. That's what I wanted to say. If you want to join, you can join. Who joined first time in Bhakti Sangha, please join. If you to chant early morning, you can also have a chance to chant with the devotees. You want to listen to Bhagavatam class, all the senior devotees comes and give every day. It's like that. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Samagori Mataji and Vinita Mataji, for allowing to Prabhu to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjana Gopika Mataji. Thank you so much. Yes, Anjana Gopika Mataji only brought me to Bhakti Sangha. Yeah, she is the one who inspired me in Bhakti. Thank you so much, Anjana Gopika Mataji. Because of her, I'm in Krishna consciousness. I'm very grateful to her. Yeah, thank you so much. Sunil Prabhu, do you want to speak?
Yes, Mataji, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. The answer you gave to Janaki Mataji, I got my answer also, Prabhuji. Like I should not differentiate speaker because whatever he's speaking on Vyasasan, and that is coming from Krishna. And another point you previously said that when my favorite speaker is speaking, that is also spoken by other speakers. Same thing only, Krishna Kada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, actually in Bhakti Sangha, no, previously I was hearing only philosophy, Prabhuji, just pure philosophy. If it is on anathas, only anathas, or if only in past tense, only just past tense. My hearing was not balanced. But after coming to Bhakti Sangha, my hearing is balanced, Prabhu. In Bhagavatam philosophy, in Chaitanya Bhagavat, just past tense. Thank you so much.
Yes, your devotee is amazing. Vinita Mataji, Shamagori Mataji, all of you present here. As Mataji said, like you're doing Gita reading, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya, it's all balanced now, philosophical and devotional with all these wonderful Vaishnavas here. I think this is the best place. I was like astonished when I heard like this is every day. This is not, easy task, like coming every day in this age of Kali with such enthusiasm, such wonderful questions. I was like, I was hoping I was gonna ask me questions. I would just get away fast as possible. Everyone's like so determined with so much devotion in your heart already. You are already exalted people. Thank you for letting me serve you, and I hope I pleased everybody here. Please pray for me and keep me in your prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Prahalad Anand Prabhu, please go ahead.
Mataji, I want to request everyone to join Sadhu Sangh coming Memorial Day. We can all meet and have Sadhu Sangh there. I just wanted
Definitely,
to add
Prabhuji,
that.
That's
definitely.
we used to have a meeting, Prabhuji. I don't know this time, but I know when we used to meet in the Sadhu Sangha, this is a group of Bhakti Sangha. We used to take a picture. Used to meet all the devotees.
Oh,
Sorry,
that
this
looks
time we
good.
go maybe some whoever go, please go and meet there.
Yes, Prabhuji. Even I am
Thank you,
not sure,
Mataji.
but if Krishna is willing, at the end, I may take it.
Yeah, even same thing.
Yeah.
Where is the meeting, Mataji? Where do you meet?
This time is in New Orleans.
Oh, wow, New Orleans. I was there this
Yes.
year. New Orleans. How do you know? How do you get plugged in? How do you know when to go?
Oh, you go to sadhusang.com, I think, or I'm not sure where, but I got email from them that I joined and
You
just
have to do
paid for it. And
registration
now,
for that, Mataji.
yeah, registration. Yes.
Yeah, registration is required.
It's in memory. We
Yeah,
can.
yeah. You cannot go just like that.
Mataji, where do I register? Sadhusangha.com?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to email them and they will register you.
All the Marathis comes, Mataji. Chandramal
Mhm.
Maharaj,
You
Indrajumna Maharaj.
you will go to Sadhu Sangha website and you will find all the information.
Yeah, I sent in the chat box, Mataji. You can,
Very
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Okay,
for the
thank you, Mataji.
accommodation, if we cannot do it in the last minute, but you can get accommodation outside. But if you want accommodation with them, I think that is already done. Now we cannot get into that. Yeah, I think it's already filled with accommodation. So we take the ticket for the entry and also prasadam, and then you take accommodation outside. That's what people do. Most of the people, yeah. Yashamagori Mataji, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. It's so nice to hear from you, Prabhuji. I was like thinking, Mataji was saying me like, he says, I am not qualified. I say, how come he is saying qualified? Now I understood how you are saying I'm not qualified. You are so humble and you are so young, and still you are doing so much study. You are doing your own study and you are doing the Krishna conscious study also. It's very inspiring, Prabhuji. Please keep coming and please keep inspiring all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Once again, I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu bhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace Kenvas Prabhuji ki jai, jai.
Jai Hari Bol.
All glorious to assembled devotees.